so tedious.
An old acquaintance among the hidden tells me that a Seraph complex recently powered on for the first time since the collapse. Shortly thereafter, Vex incursions were reported. Anna flagged the site as a potential pillory bunker. If the Vex gain access to its systems, they'll use it to wrest Rasputin's submine data away from us. It would be catastrophic.
I'll just use a sidearm or something. I'm not going to use something crazy, but it's absolutely just a miserable experience trying to start DPS only using the Praxic Blade.
Centuries in marsh and rust.
I have to do all this over again. It was like all that just to die because I can't start DPS. So frustrating.
Are breaching the command matrix. Go.
Like, Vespers is hard because Vespers is hard, right? I understand you've got the lightning and everything, but like this stupid arbitrary mechanic that's not consistent is extremely annoying to have to do. If the switches absolutely went off every single time you hit them with something, then it wouldn't be terrible. But having to hit them 4 times and they still not turn on is just... that's what's frustrating about it. So I'm only going to use a gun for those red switches in the final encounter. Everything else will do Praxic Blade just like we have been. But I'm not doing another run of this. I think we would absolutely clear if we had just been able to start DPS. So I'm not even going to worry about it. If people want to give me shit about it being the one dungeon, I mean, we did it for Seer too with the hands, but I would argue clearing Ghosts and Warlords and Sundered without using a gun is far more impressive than clearing this, so... I'd actually like to start practicing Warlords so we can get that down to a consistent run.
Outside the Black Garden. They're a fanatical sect of programming devoted to the darkness, or rather the witness. three-star collective in a Seraph complex. Peculiar. They were rivals in the Golden Age. This wasn't just a pillory site, it was a joint research facility, focused on extrasolar colonization efforts. The Soul Divisive have been scouring research logs. They were looking for something more than to imprison Rasputin's subminds.
I really like playing Destiny in third person too, actually. I died to that again. That's what got us killed in the final encounter that one time. Because whatever the interaction is with you blocking and then trying to throw the sword, does that silly little lunge. I've just noticed a lot of like inconsistencies with things doing this challenge, and it's a little frustrating. So I hope that those types of things, that's why I kind of almost wish we would get a patch sometime that was literally just straight fixes. Like, since we don't have these big seasonal updates anymore.
Information stored here, but could it be linked to my visions? Why else would the witness be interested in these files?
I gotta do this climb all over again too. I don't think I ever realized how just tedious this dungeon is until now. Okay. We're just not gonna climb now. Like, as far as mechanics go, I feel like this dungeon is extremely tedious with the amount of switches that you have to hit to do things. See how my melee again didn't work right there, right off the bat? Hey Jinx, what's up? How you doing? Just doing chores before you sit down and play. Nice. What are you gonna get into tonight? Are you doing Destiny stuff, or are you playing something? You doing something else? Farm some health armor for PvP and just goof around sitting over it. Okay. What armor set are you gonna try to get? Not really too keen on a particular armor set, just want to get your health up more. Okay, I feel that. To be honest, I think you can't really get the good PvP armor sets right now anyway. I think Iron Banner and Bushido. I like Iron Banner and Bushido personally. You could get what, Ferropitant 2-piece is pretty good for PvP. You cannot get, well, that's ironic because we were literally just talking about the Bushido set. The only way to get the Bushido set right now is from Hawthorne's Ingrams. So it's just a random drop from Hawthorne. That's the only way to get Bushido right now. They're working on a way to bring back old armor sets, but until then, you can't get them. So just do stuff and go to Hawthorne and pick up the Ingrams and pray that you get the piece of Bushido that you want. Yeah, no, it's alright. It's all good. Hopefully they add a way to do it in the future, but right now that's the only way. Yeah, a rotating schedule would be good. They could have done that in the Vanguard alerts, honestly. I think Vanguard alerts could have been where you went to get old gear. Instead of just like, I personally don't play Vanguard alerts because other than the GMs, and I only do the GMs to like test my builds. I don't sit there and run GMs over and over for the weapons. Bro. They're too busy with it. It's supposed to be 2 different teams working on it, but I mean, they did say there's a rumor, right? It hasn't been, they haven't said anything official yet, but Shadow and Order is going to be delayed because of Marathon, which would honestly suck. I mean, I understand they don't want the 2 competing, but I mean, you're the one setting the dates, right? Like, you chose the date, unless Sony made them release Marathon in March. But it's like, it's your company, they're both your games, so why would you even pick 2 dates that are close together? So that's my only, like, gripe on it, I guess. Yeah, the Twid is really small today, to be honest. Yeah, I feel like we should be getting, like, in my opinion, things like Arms Week and this whole, like, Tex Machina thing that's going on right now is kind of like, I mean, I guess that's cool, but they could have brought, I mean, that could have been the thing too. They could have easily brought the weapons and armors back, like, as weekly things, like weekly events. Like, oh, you can get the Bushido set for using, you know, only swords or glaives in this activity or so. I don't know. There could have been a modifier that set so that you had to use swords. So it was like themed, right? Bushido. And then whatever the other ones were, whatever the other weapon related perks are, there could be ways to farm them with specific weapons or something. Or just make, I mean, I don't know what it requires on the back end for them to change that, right? So, like, Ada could have easily sold them. You could get a material that Ada could have a marketplace, and they could still be random rolls. It doesn't have to be, you know, God rolls every time, but you take a certain material to Ada, and she prints you armor, right? Like, she's the armor smith, isn't she? That's her whole thing. So I just feel like it's a bit of a missed opportunity with some of the vendors to have them doing different things. What's up, Reaper? How's it going, man? What have you been up to lately? You've been into Arc Raiders a lot lately, right, dude? Like, I'm curious what holds Bungie back from doing certain things within the game, right? Is it just they can't? Is it a hardware limit, like a coding limitation that they can't do those things easily? Or is it like they just can't think of an idea that everybody would like? I don't know. Like, why don't we have tiered exotics yet? That's the other thing, right? Arc Raiders and Delta Force. Are you getting Marathon? That's another, if you like extraction shooters. Need to do something to boost morale with the Destiny community. Yeah, I mean, I think that's always been, even with seasonal,
it's using the tower's arrays to connect with
like I'll use gacha games as an example, right? Gacha games have events going on in game all the time, like, and I guess it would be similar to the Dawning or similar to the Solstice and things like that, right? There's like a little normally in gacha games you get an event, it's a little path, you have little missions you can do, and then you get currency that you can use to pull for characters in gacha games normally, or you get a special nameplate so they could do an emblem in here or something. They're not messing up, Reaper, it's just more so like trying to breathe a little bit of life back into Destiny. Like, I like playing Destiny, I like the gameplay of Destiny, but I think if I wasn't doing this challenge right now, there wouldn't be much for me to do. I've done everything. I've gotten all the lightsaber colors. I've done everything that I really want to within the game, other than this challenge that I'm working on. So, other than farm, and once you farm your gear, right, there's nothing to do after that. So, but having like an event pass in the game where you gotta, I mean, it would be a triumph, right? Like, they would do like just some type of event that came with a triumph, and then you also, I would say, realistically, an emblem, maybe a shader, and then like sometimes it could be like a ghost shell, or sometimes it could be a ship, or sometimes it could, just something, right? Something that people can continue to work for. Like, hold on, let me change my headset battery out. I 100% agree, Quicks. Like, Renegades is fun. Like, I'm actually having more fun playing Destiny than I have in a really long time. I love the Praxic Blade, which is why I'm even doing this challenge in the first place, because I just enjoy it so much. I'd never made my own builds before until this season. I'm not slamming Renegades at all. I think Renegades is fantastic. I think with Shadow and Order being so far out, we run into the same issue where there's nothing to do in between these expansions, and that's the problem. And it was a problem with the seasonal stuff for me too. Like, we're just doing the same things over and over and over. Like, we're doing the same activities over and over and over. Why isn't there, like, Pantheon, right? Everybody loved Pantheon. Why isn't there a rotating Pantheon playlist? Maybe it could come... I mean, maybe it could be like Iron Banner, and it could come back... We haven't even had Iron Banner in how long, right? Before the Dawning. Iron Banner should absolutely come back at least once a month, I think. But, like, we need these events in the game to at least... And it can be the same... It doesn't have to always be... Yeah, it's been like 4 months, right? Like, it's been a while. So you can't even get the Iron Panoply armor anymore, which is... I like that armor set a lot, to be honest. So I just think that there needs to be... And I mean, gacha games are the only things I can think of. And maybe it's more of like a FOMO type thing. But by having a pass that... Like, having just a little short... It doesn't even have to be like the Dawning, where it's 4 pages of rewards. It could be 1 page. Just 1 page that people can grind out. And, you know, it could last a week. And then if you don't finish it in that week, it'll come back next month, right? So, I don't know. There's just... There needs to be things that people want to play. Right? No one's doing raids right now. And it's so hard to get a raid group together unless you're just doing it for fun. Because the gear, there's no point in running raids. There's no tiered gear. And Desert Perpetual with, you know, you have to run, what, 4 feats? So, it's just not enjoyable to do. Yeah, I agree. Destiny's always had that problem. I do like the extractions. The extractions don't feel repetitive. But, like, for me, I've gotten every saber from every planet. I got all the collectible ghosts to get the shader. And now, I mean, like, all the guns from the dungeon are better than the guns from the extractions. So, like, why would I do them? There's no incentive to continue to do them. And I think that's the biggest problem with Destiny, is once you have everything from... Like, once you have everything from an activity or whatever it is, there's no reason to ever go back and play it. And that's the problem. I think that's always been a problem with Destiny. Some people will go back and play it just because they like it, right? Like, it's fun. I think a vast majority of the player base does not do that. So that's my only... I think Destiny needs something to... Because it's a live service game, right? Like, if we're moving away from the seasonal model, that's fine, but... And I didn't like the seasonal models anyway. But people aren't gonna play the game if there's nothing worth playing it for. Yeah, but see, like, I agree that I do like the weekly events in Warframe, but, like, Warframe for me, I don't feel like there's enough endgame there. Like, there's no raids, there's no dungeons or anything like that. You have the weekly stuff you could do that is hard to get the Tau crystals. And you've got the stuff, like, in the new area with Lloyd. I don't even remember what it's called right now. But for me personally, like, I don't like Warframe's endgame. Like, I have all these builds and that's great, but like, what am I using them for? So that's probably why I don't play Warframe nearly as much as I play Destiny. But then Destiny also, to an extent, has the same problem. Like, once I've made my build and I've done the raid and I've done the dungeon and I've got all the guns I want, like, what's the point? What else is there to do? So that's when you would go and play, like, another game, right? And that's fine too. Like, if we want to look at it like you just need to go play another game after that, then whatever. I play Destiny because I enjoy the gameplay. I think it's one of the best feeling shooters out there. But I just wish there was like more substance sometimes. So, Jedi Life is freaking great, Rampage. Sorry about your internet, dude. I hope they get that fixed soon. So, I love Destiny, and that's the thing too, right? Like, I love Destiny. I don't want Destiny to die. So everybody that always, you know, hates on Destiny and oh, I was so scared. That wants it to die, like, that's not, like, I absolutely want to keep playing this game. I played this game for 10 years. I want to keep playing it for, you know, I played since D1 day one. I love this game. I want more reasons to want to play, right? Give me more reasons to get on. Give me more reasons to log in each day. What am I doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. Like the whole Warlord's Ruin challenge that's coming up, like, why aren't we having just silly little challenges like that every week? Like, that's not hard to do, I feel like. It's already in the game. We're gonna get no damage in this time. Like the Tex Machina thing, like the damage, like what did we get? It was the damage buff this week, right, for Tex Machina weapons or whatever. And the only new weapon that is a Tex Machina weapon is the Yeartide Apex from Solstice. So if you didn't play Solstice, you don't have it. So, like, it would have been cool if it was like, oh, if you use Tex Machina weapons and get a certain amount of kills, you get this emblem, and it's the Tex Machina logo. Like, okay, cool. Like, I mean, it's just something to do, right? Or you get this shader, and the shader, like, is all leather and makes you look like a cowboy. I know Atlas would grind for that. So, I don't know. There's just... That's all, and that was always my issue with seasonal content, right? And that's on me, because I would complete it so fast that then I'd have nothing to do. But I really think... I don't... I know Destiny doesn't like to lean into the whole, like, MMO, RPG type thing, but, like... I mean, Destiny's also the only live service game that's ever lasted as long as this. Right? I mean, I'm sure, yeah, their focus is absolutely Marathon right now, but I don't know if that's... Like, I don't work at Bungie. I don't know if they're pulling resources to work on Marathon, right? Like, I can't say 100% for sure that's what they did. Like, Joe Schmo got pulled from Destiny raid design to go work on Marathon. So... Like, unless someone from Bungie came out and said, yep, they took... Destiny's on a skeleton crew right now. We have 20 people that work on Destiny right now. Then I'd be pissed. So... See, that went off late. Right, the only real... Wait, aren't all these weapons Tex Machina? I thought all the weapons in here were Tex Machina. Hello? Oh, you are not ruining my DPS again. That was absolutely terrible. We'll be honest, y'all. Hold on, let me catch up with chat. Or let me kill these dudes and I'll catch up with chat. Okay. I don't feel like a matter of fact if it's actually happening, but that's how the player oh yeah, of course. I mean the player, but that's like you always have to take something with a grain of salt. I feel like when the player base says things, because I mean people can just make stuff up online and it'll blow up and then everybody believes it, right? So problem with the seasonal model is there's weeks where you weren't doing anything and you right, exactly. That was my problem too. I hated it. I hated waiting to play. D would have to do everything damage-wise because we are way too strong for raids and dungeons without having damage. But that's the thing, right? Like, you would just make the bosses and stuff have more health. I mean, that's exactly what Bungie does with Destiny. I mean, if you're strong, like, that's the way you do it. You just have to give stuff more health, and it has to gradually increase as it goes up. Or you make it more, like, puzzle-oriented. Like, there's no problem with making it so that the boss... I don't mind the boss having a lot of health if it's not... Like, if it's, like, very puzzle-oriented. So, it's finding that balance, I think. Blah, 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 blah. They need to do something to fix morale. I think, yeah, morale sucks right now, but I mean, it's been, like, I feel like the last year, Bungie is just, every time they do something, they got hit with something else, right? The marathon art debacle, something happened with Bungie, too, and I can't remember what it was, or with Destiny, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, I mean, Final Shape, or not Final Shape, Edge of Fate just, like, tanked, right? Like, the campaign was good, but everything else sucked. People just were really unhappy about it, which is unfortunate. I like all the changes, personally. I like tiered weapons and tiered armor and everything. Marathon is using the same anti-cheat, yes, but remember, Marathon is server-based instead of peer-to-peer. So, from what Alice has been saying, and Ronan was talking about it earlier, it might actually work better. So, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know enough about that to even start talking about it, right? But it's been working for Valorant and Battlefield. I mean, Battlefield has cheaters, though, still. It's not perfect, right? So... Bungie's problem to sit there and correct the public and to sit there and help us not feel like we're being left behind. Yeah, I don't really, like... I think delaying in Shadow and Order, you don't want ads, you want more action. Thank you for the 22 months, dude. That's perfect. I think... what am I doing? I'm so, like, off topic right now. Oh, no! Yeah, I mean, I agree that it's kind of just rough right now. And I'm not a developer. I don't know how to fix it. I'm not a community manager. I don't know, like, I don't know what they need to do to make it better, because I don't think you're not going to please everybody. Someone's still going to be upset. So, you know, they could make like some weekly events or whatever and start putting shaders and ships and stuff in it, and then someone would complain about FOMO. Like, I work 12 jobs, I don't have time to do this. Well, like, there has to be, somebody has to give, right? Everybody is not going to be happy. And that's the hardest part, I think, is trying to make everybody happy is going to probably lead to nobody being happy. So it's just a weird, and you also have to remember, like, obviously we're seeing a drastic drop in player count, right? So we know that not everybody is playing. But the other thing is, Jinx, Twitter and Reddit and all these online communities, it is a minority compared to the larger player base. It's a vocal minority, but a lot of the time, like, your Joe Schmo that gets home from work every day and doesn't play Destiny like that isn't on Reddit. I mean, they're not on Reddit or Twitter complaining about it. They come home and they load up with their, you know, 320 light level Guardian that they've been working on since Edge of Fate, and, you know, they run the portal once or twice, and then they get off. Like, and so it's just weird. Like, it's a weird thing to try to do. I mean, there was a post on Reddit today, right? On the Destiny 2 subreddit, where someone had posted a picture of a barrier champ and said, "How do I kill this?" Like, and I mean, that's partly on the game, I guess, for not telling them how, but you have to remember, like, the average player isn't like that. Like, so, right, John Walmart dad comes home, plays for 2 hours, right? Runs a story mission with his kid, and they're running, you know, they're not running exotics, they're running you know, all blue because they like the way it looks. I don't know, like, it's a hard, I think it's really hard to balance the game around people like us because we just play it so much. So I don't know. I don't know how to find that balance that's like gives the hardcore players enough to do that also doesn't alienate the casual player. I think there was a post the other day on the subreddit where they were talking about how they couldn't even complete a certain mission or something because I don't remember what it was, but there was I think it was something to do with they needed to do it with somebody, or they couldn't complete it because of their light level or something else. I don't remember what it was. But they were basically like, they were soft locked, right? They couldn't, I think they weren't good enough to complete the activity they were trying to do, because it was too high of a level, but they weren't getting the drops they needed to be at the same level. So I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, I would personally love, like, little events, like once a month have just a little fun event that the community gets to do. Like, if the community kills 2 million Vex, right, we get something. I don't know, man. Just little things like that to do. And those could be like the Tex Machina, kill 2 million Vex with Tex Machina weapons, or, you know, kill 2 million Cabal with swords, or whatever. There's just things I feel like they could do. Like, people logging into Anthem and wondering, yeah, there probably are, dude. There probably, if there wasn't like an in-game pop-up about Anthem servers shutting down, I'm sure there are people that are trying to log in and play. I miss Anthem, man. That game deserved so much better. I think if Anthem had been handled well, that could have been a direct competitor to Destiny. It absolutely gave me the same vibes as Destiny. Miss the games where you can grind games all day. Dude, I'm lucky I've got a stay-at-home job. Because I don't know what I would do if I had to go to an office again. I think I would go crazy, to be honest. Like, being able to finish work and then just immediately start playing games is so nice. Yeah, Anthem just needed, that was the thing, right? Like, Anthem just needed content. And I think realistically that's somewhat of the problem that Destiny's running into now. Is that it doesn't have enough substance in between large expansions to hold it over. Like content that's meaningful, right? Or that's just plain fun. Just plain fun is fine too. Anthem probably could have, honestly. It probably could have been, dude. I was so hyped just for the possibilities that were Anthem. I would have preferred them to just literally live, like, side by side. I think it's just like Marvel Rivals and Overwatch, right? I think healthy competition is very good for a game. When a game lives in a vacuum, there's no reason for the developers to innovate because, I mean, why would they? What else are you going to play? You want this type of game? Well, this is the only one out there, so... Job of being a father takes all your time. Yeah. Sure it does, dude. I couldn't imagine having a kid. I feel like I do not have time for that. So look at that. Was like 6 bullets to turn that switch on? That's actually pretty good. We're gonna get the clear, and I'm gonna just be sitting here dogging on Bungie during this dungeon, and we're gonna get the clear, and then it's gonna be up online. It's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be great. Of course, this would be the one I get the clear on. I loved Anthem's gameplay, 100%. Like that game was so much fun. I wish Destiny had the prime and the ignition abilities. I think that'd be so freaking cool, dude. If you could load an enemy up with stasis and then make them explode with art or with jolt or arc, I would love stuff like that. It was such a cool feature. Wow, missed one. It's unfortunate. Yeah, I think Destiny needs things like Pantheon and the Warlords dungeon challenge they're doing with the bow stuff. I just think it needs to be more frequent. And if you don't want to create new events, then you need to make sure like Iron Banner needs to come back way more often. Like Trials right now is, I mean, I don't know. Like I think Trials needs to be redone. Like strip it down and redo it, because like yeah, you get a lot of loot from it, but that's also the people that do come into the playlist now don't care about winning. So you're getting people in there. Like I'm not that great at PvP in this game. Like I am not a solo carry person. I cannot carry 2 people in PvP. And I'm playing Trials and I'm getting people on my team that have a 0.2 KD for the week. And I have like barely a 1.0. I can't win that. And I'm going against people that are, you know, really good. You thought Trials, dude, I'm glad you think Trials is easy, because I've always found Trials miserable. And maybe that's because I have to solo queue, but I've never enjoyed Trials. The only time I enjoy playing Trials is when I'm doing, playing with Atlas and he's doing carries, because I feel like I have a chance of going to the lighthouse. And because all I care about from Trials are the ships and the shaders, right? I don't care about guns that much. Like it's cool to get a nice gun, but that's not what I play Trials for. And so I need a 5-win streak to even get the reward that I want to get from Trials. And I'm not getting 5 wins, dude. It's just not happening. I don't remember the last time I did that on my own solo. What am I doing down here? Tier upgrades? Like, what do you mean by tier upgrades? What are we talking about? Oh, that's a list. A reward to upgrade your armor. I mean, yeah, that would be... I wish we had tier upgrades. They said they're working on it. I just don't know when it's happening. That would be huge, though. I mean, I want tier 5 exotics, personally. I don't know when we're going to get a roadmap. I think that's pretty important. But I mean, even if they give us a roadmap, they could easily give us a roadmap tomorrow and then just say, "Oh, this got delayed," or "That got delayed." Like, a roadmap isn't set in stone, right? So, like, as great as a roadmap would be, it guarantees nothing. And then all that's going to do, and probably one of the reasons why they don't want to push a roadmap out is because then it's just going to become people saying, well, you said this was going to come out on this date and it hasn't come out yet. And it just gives more ammunition to the people that just want to sit there and, you know, trash talk the game. I absolutely don't think Destiny's in a perfect place right now. But I don't know, like... I don't know what it's going to take to get it back to where it needs to be. I mean, you have to remember, like, we killed the witness. A lot of people checked out after that because they're like, well, that was the guy I've been, like, hunting for the last 10 years. So for them, it was over. I wish the witnesses whatever the thing is that Maya has. I can't remember what it's called. But the thing that Maya got that allows her to control the Vex, it came from the Witness, like it came out of the Traveler. I don't think that should have happened. I think we should have wrapped up the Traveler and the Witness, and then we should have started moving on like towards the Winnower. Right? It should not have been the next big bad, Maya, should not have been related to the Witness at all. It should have been something from outside this, and I think honestly Frontier should have been us leaving the solar system. Like, and maybe that means that they had to make new planets, but I think that would have been, we've been playing on the same planets for years, guys. Like, that's the biggest problem with Destiny. We never, it's a lot of reused content. Like, we're constantly, how much stuff has been brought back from Destiny 1? I would much rather have had new content than all these raids that they brought back from D1. Like, I don't want Wrath of the Machine back, because I've done it already. Like, I want new stuff. I mean, it's cool to have, like, the nostalgic stuff in the game, but I don't know. I think that's a waste, personally. I want new content, not old content. Revive the Golden Age. You know, Reaper, dude, I think it would have been so freaking cool if, you know, did you play Destiny Rising at all? Well, it doesn't matter. Either way. Like, I think it would have been so freaking cool if we had, like, they could have done the whole Edge of Fate thing. Did you play, you played Edge of Fate, right? Did you play the campaign? Yeah, I did. Okay, so I think it would have been so freaking cool, man, if, like, 3, whatever the 9 that died was 3 or whatever, right? I think 3 should have died at the beginning of the story, and we should have time traveled back to the Golden Age to prevent it. Like, I thought that would have been, I think that would have been way freaking cooler than what we got. Then it would introduce, you could keep the same planets, but, like, you can update them, right? It's the same planet, but now it's got the Golden Age, like, everything's fresh and new, right? We're at the peak of humanity. So, you don't have to, you can still reuse content, right? But, I don't know. Like, just, I think everybody thought we were, Frontiers, right? Space, the final frontier. Like, everybody thought we were going to leave the solar system. And I guess we kind of did with Kepler. It's a new planet. But then, Renegades comes out. We're right back to Europa and Venus and, whatever the other planet is. Mars. And sure, like, they fit the aesthetic of Star Wars. That's fine. But I don't know. I think a time travel thing would have been cool. But, and that's what, and we have a chance. Yeah, like, maybe preventing the collapse is, like, the way we save. I don't know, man. Like, I'm not a writer, but apparently we're supposed to get in the next, whatever the next big expansion is, we're going to Old Chicago. Which, I mean, again, we're on Earth, right? So what is it gonna look like? Is it gonna be buildings and stuff and look like a city? And, like, that could be cool. But if it's just, like, run down buildings and trees again, and, like, think of how much cooler it would have been to go back to, like, Chicago, like, as a guardian, and then the Vex are there doing whatever they're trying to do. Like, I think it could have been, by Maya killing 3, it put us back in time to the Golden Age, but she was there too, right? I'm gonna die. I hope this dude dies in this super, because... Nope. I've been yapping. Yeah, we went back to save Saint, exactly. And now, like, Bale's looking for our grave, which is the same, like, the one from that storyline where we saved Saint. If I remember correctly. I don't know, that was so long ago, to be honest. I think it would have been way freaking cooler for us to go back in time to, like, I'm not gonna say modern day Chicago, but like Golden Age Chicago, right? Yeah, I don't know. Nothing happened with that. Nothing has happened with that yet. Bale's looking for our grave, so maybe something's going to happen with it, but... who knows? Like, what if there was some crazy-ass plot twist and it turned out that we were the winnower? How crazy would that be? But even just little things, man. Like, why haven't we gotten another subclass for, or another super for Strand and Stasis yet? It's been how many years? I think it was 2016 was when Stasis came out. We haven't gotten a new super for it yet. Yeah, I mean, and big holes are fine, right? If they fill them in later, that's not a big deal. I don't care about that. Like, it's cool to have... It's kind of cool when you're watching a show and then something happens in the show and you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. And then they explain it, like, you go and watch the season finale and it's... Bro, I literally can't break the hands because they're not... Or break the eyes because they're not shooting me. Right, yeah, like, they remade Light Supers, which is, I understand, they were like, oh, well, darkness is too strong. And, well, you made it, so... Around this witness, it's too early to kill. I disagree, I'm fine killing the witness, like, but... The witness even said, I'm the first knife, right? So the winnower's the big bad. And maybe there's somebody above the winnower, who knows? I don't know what the hierarchy of villains is in this game, but... Like, if we're gonna start getting into time traveling shit, like, I really feel like we should start leaning into time traveling shit, instead of just, like, oh, it was time traveling. Especially because now we know that Ikora was brought here by the... Yeah, Ikora was killed by the Nine so that she could show up when she needed to, right? And Lodi was brought here because of the Nine, so... It's like an Exo Stranger, I don't have time to explain why I don't have time to explain type situation. Like, that would be a really cool storyline to know why, like, they never went back and explained the Exo Stranger talking to us in Destiny 1, as far as I know. Unless I haven't been paying attention and they did. Yeah, same place, same time zone and everything, right? So... But then there's probably other people that wouldn't like the time traveling thing. They're like, oh, that's such a cliche, right? It's always time travel. There were people that didn't like that about Avengers, about Endgame, because they use time travel. So, like, I've definitely thought that there were some cool story moments in Destiny throughout the years. But I also just kind of feel like sometimes it's just, like, the story's not expanding. It's the same stuff. How many times have we killed Crota? How many times have we killed Oryx? How many times has Oryx been, you know, he came back in the season of whatever. Nothing happened with that. I swear we've been here for an hour because I've been talking so much. Time for you to get some sleep? Alright, dude, sounds good. I will see you next time, Reaper. Have a good night. I really want to practice Vespers. I think Vespers is just not going to happen, to be honest. That is the one dungeon I do not think we're going to get a clear on. Maybe I just need to try to Solo Flawless it first in general. But I would like to, you know, use this loadout and stuff. But I mean, I'd never Solo Flawless Ghost or Sunder Doctrine or Duality or Warlords, and we did that with no HUD and everything. I feel like we gotta be close here. I think that took way longer than normal because we were talking.
So does their
It just
hold
wasn't
over the
locked
security
in.
systems. Perhaps
It also just
now
takes
we
a
can...
long time in general.
No!
No.
They're driving the reactor core to a meltdown.
Oh no.
It's going prompt critical. Those power surges
Not
were
prompt
intentional.
critical. Oh,
Get to the
that hurt.
reactor, lest we lose everything.
Alright, I will use the lightsaber for these red switches, but I'm switching to a gun in final encounter because I'm not gonna. I don't want to do this dungeon again. I want to be honest, guys. I'm really, really tired of doing it. So I'm gonna try to get the clear on this run. And bro, look, I got 2 of them in the hole. I know, Bam. The fans freak me out. I am not a fan of the fans.
What we've seen here proves my visions.
You know what I'm saying?
We must secure the complex to convince Ikora. Trust is a frail thing. As much as our mission, this can restore her faith in me. I need this.
Not even reach. Ooh. Move! Where's the middle one? Alright, I am only using a gun on the red ones. I will use the lightsaber for the yellow ones, but I am very tired of this dungeon, so if you guys want to give me shit about it, you can give me shit about it. But I don't want to do it anymore, so
A Vex mine directs power to
I don't
the
care.
reactor. Kill it, and the complex should stabilize.
I just want to kill this dude and be done. Oh, I forgot about that one. Not me having to hit the switch 7 times. We're gonna use a gun for this, and we're gonna die to something stupid, like the supplicants. Still a 4 or 5 phase. Where's the Minotaur on this side? Remember if I finished that side or not. Did not. have to weaken. I'm dumb. I'm locked in, Pan! Pan, we have made an adjustment to this dungeon. I'm allowed to use a gun for just the red wires in this encounter. That is the only thing we're using it for. Because I'm honestly just tired of this dungeon. And arguably, it's much more impressive to have cleared the other dungeons anyway, so... You can, if I have to use Prismatic. It has to basically be perfect. You have to you have to have a Tangle, use Prismatic, and hope that the switches actually turn on. So we ran into an issue last run, and the reason why I even changed the rule in the first place, where I was hitting the switches with things like Reflection Lightsaber or my melee, and the switches were not turning on. So that's when I decided to just introduce a gun for just this. You absolutely can, but it's insanely annoying to do. So... And for me personally, I've already solo flawless this dungeon before, so I don't care about this one as much. Like, obviously we're doing our little challenge run right now, but I'm completely happy with completing ghosts and warlords and everything else, where you're fighting a boss that, you know, is, you can't hit with the sword, you have to throw it. So I'm perfectly fine getting those clears and having to use a gun on the switches for just to start DPS here. It's whatever. It's not worth it. It's just, it's getting me so frustrated to do, and I'm just not, I'm kind of just over it. And we still have to do Vespers, right? So... Like that right there, that hit that switch. So either my buff ran out, or the switch just didn't turn on. And it's, I mean, it's possible my buff has ran out, but there was a lot of those last time where we were hitting the switch with something and it wasn't turning on. So. Bro, I had a little mini heart attack. Boy, you better come back in this room right now. Oh, my buff ran out again, dude. Nope. Back on the other side. Let's go. Work phone's blowing up. Something must be down. I've noticed also, I think the music changes like the lower the boss's health gets. I've noticed in a couple of the boss fights the music seems to change as the fight goes on. See that right there? Turn on. Oh crap, dude. You guys hear that? That's my work phone is just going crazy. I'm gonna have to take a break after this run to double check that. I told you, as soon as we started using a gun for those red switches, we cleared it.